Om. Ten Commandments, the Principles of Arya Samaj, Part 24. The eighth principle, Vidya and Avidya, Section B, Marriage. To the age at least of 25 in the case of a boy and of 16 in the case of a girl, this tutelage with the preceptor should continue. The alone is the Snataka, that is graduate, whom the Shastras call twice born because of his or her second birth from the Acharya's womb, allowed to marry. The bride and the bridegroom have free choice in selecting their mate. The Acharyas, who have been keeping a watch over the lives of their respective wards and are most intimately acquainted with their inner temperaments, compare between them notes they have taken of their gradual unfolding and recommend to their respective disciples what spouse will suit them. The function of other elders is also advisory. The ultimate decision rests with the pair themselves. In the course of the ritual performed at the time of marriage, some very solemn vows are taken by the prospective wife and husband. The latter undertakes to support her, forswearing concealment of any enjoyment of his from her, while the wife is to remain at the house and look after their joint concerns at home. All outside functions fall to the lot of the husband. They form, as it were, the centrifugal and centripetal forces of the family system. The idea not of equality or inequality, but of the capability to supplement each other by dint of their different endowments peculiar to their respective sexes, is the keynote of the matrimonial relation. According to the Vedic ideal, marriage is not a contract but a spiritual necessity solemnized by performance of sacrament. The bond it forges is indissoluble. Divorce is forbidden. Souls once mated are mated for life. The disintegration of the household, the trifling point of view as regards marriage, the wresting of children from either parent and depriving them, as a result of the privilege of looking upon the latter as their joint guardian, angels appointed in its boundary from heaven, an Elysian foundation of angelic notions of life and its obligations. These and many others are the horrible concomitants of the liberty to marry and unmarry as often as one likes. Utmost caution should, of course, be exercised at the time of the first selection, which once made should always be the final selection. In case of disharmony, separation may be arranged, providing also that separated pair will not marry, and the economic responsibility to support the wife will even then be the husband's. This will make both wiser and the way of reconciliation smoother. Matrimony is too close to relation to make its maintenance depend on the erotic caprice. Even if conjugal relations are not by the lapse of time restored, the self restraint which the couple exercise as a result of their self imposed isolation from each other will be a beneficent schooling in sagacity and carefulness in choosing their mates in future lives. The householder. The wisdom which a householder gains by coming in contact with different strata of life and by making the best of all sorts of physical and mental experiences which the life of the world, now hard matter of fact, now airy as the heaven affords, is an invaluable asset in the progress of knowledge of both the individual soul and the community of souls of which he is a member. While wife and children are the father's paradise, friends and guests the social animal's Eden, the earthly ills of both mind and body to which animal existence, in whatever form, is here, are his occasional hates. 25 years are the maximum period allowed for alternately enjoying and suffering or suffering and enjoying this phase of earthly human existence. In the course of these, all agencies of enlightenment, such as libraries, press, platform, picture galleries, etc., are abundantly provided. The Aryan view of life is one of a deeply refined cultural mode of the achievement of human destiny. Both men and things are utilized to the utmost as the instruments of acquiring vidya, realization. The recluse. At the age, at the latest of 50, the twice born should retire again into privacy. At this stage, he becomes a student once more, this time a self dependent student, a student more of self than of things and persons besides self. Thus, detached from the phenomenal world, he reverts his mind to permanent concerns of spiritual humanity, the problems which face mankind for all time, apart from the ephemeral happenings of day to day, engage his attention. The sannyasi. If a brahmana, that is a teacher, he may, after this period of preparation, come out again into the public as the common guide and friend of all communities. His narrow prejudices gone, his bias towards himself and those whom he in former days regarded as his own, all these different forms of selfishness of gradually widening range are, at the end of this conscious but automatic process, vanished. He is a sannyasi, cosmopolitan philosopher. All communities claim him as their own. He has no possessions. His home is in the open or else in the vehicles which carry him from one place to another. He is a roaming promulgator of God's wisdom. Indifferent to his own comforts and conveniences, his one concern is to make mankind and with it the whole animal kingdom comfortable and happy. Of all agencies of humanitarian effort to secure the welfare of the world, the high goal aimed at in the sixth principle, the sannyasi is decidedly the most powerful. The world today lacks this agency and is therefore at war with its own highest good, peace. For if every man were to realize his own ultimate identity with other men, with whom would be fight but himself? Humanity today is, alas, at war with itself. The ideal of the Arya Samaj. Thus does the Arya Samaj seek to further right knowledge and dispel ignorance, to promote realization and remedy illusion. Knowledge, according to the definition of the Arya Shastras, is right knowledge, knowledge born of the Vedas, knowledge which will make us discriminate between right and wrong, between what tends to our good and what leads to our venial ruin. The furtherance of literacy is only a minor part of the educational program laid out by Dayananda. Not simply schools, but whole lives of human beings have to be made the instruments of realization. Vidya. Vidya as conceived by the rishis, is not simply knowledge in the modern sense, it is identification of oneself with the real, the true, the right. Continued.